And it's round 3 at Mount Edgecombe the Woods. It was a very short round because of the weather. The inclement weather came in at hole 12, meaning only 9 holes to count. It was a great preparation. It was arriving at the club early, doing the practice facility, the driving range. I had my routine down. I checked in. It was a 12:50 tee-off time. I had a medal Stableford format. Then, with regards to how the actual round went, it was amazing. The ball striking seemed to actually carry extra 10 to 15 meters at sea level. And from hole number 1, taking a 3-iron off the tee, we were looking at obviously a very much a distance of about 110 to the front, and it worked out to be exactly pin high with a 3-iron and then a gap wedge, hitting them both flush, but I finished right of the pin, which meant that I had to up and down for par. So that gives me a distance off the tee with wind that I thought was actually coming behind the left shoulder. It was 246 meters from the tee, leaving me 116 meters to the pin. I missed the target by about 20 foot, and then I managed to up and down with my 60-degree lob wedge to actually give myself a very good 4-5 footer, which was up the hill, breaking left to right. The best shot of the day could have come at the second, where feeling like the wind was actually coming off the right and wasn't actually hurting, but it actually was just a crosswind. I thought it was hurting, so I hit a 5-iron as flush as I could. It did actually end up literally pin high on the right in the rough. I had to have a difficult up and down, but that distance now is 175 meters into somewhat of a hurting wind. That is impressive distance, especially with the 5-iron. Very happy with, obviously, my long game. The 3-iron and 5-iron is being brought from round 1 and round 2, and then looking at the wedges, let myself down on the first hole with the 50-degree, and then later on the 8th hole, it would be the 54. Looking at some of the lies, all the flop shots that I played seemed to actually have a leading edge, not getting the pop or getting the actual first bounce to go in my favor. So I was 1 over after the first 3 holes, the third hole being a 486 meter to the center, feeling like it was downwind. It was a 3-wood and then a 3-iron, and I was pin high, but then I'm going to have to deal myself with a flop shot that had to clear the bunker on a decline and get it to stop for a birdie chance. Then the woes actually started on the 4th hole, where I had a great 3-iron, giving myself a great distance in, 145 meters to the pin, which means I had basically hit into a headwind with a 3-iron, just over 200 meters. Very impressive, but the elevation, and I thought the wind was actually coming in, got that all wrong. 2 clubs off. I've hit the 7-iron out of bounds, lost ball, so something of a par written over all that tee shot. The 7-iron has now put me into huge trouble, so I had to take a double, and now I'm 3 over after 4. The par 5 hitting the best driver and the only driver of the day, where I felt that gave myself at least a 3-wood off the deck to give myself at least a chance somewhere around the green. Didn't actually hit that 3-wood very well. I've practiced that shot so hard this week, last week, round 1 and round 2. It has been impressive, but just great to be in an opportunity to feel like I can pull the trigger with 3-wood off the deck. The distances there, I was actually looking at about 245 meters, meaning that I had just hit something around 265, 270 meters into the wind. Impressive. And a hybrid would have been just as good, but the third shot was a disaster. It was a 50-degree into the wind, not hitting the right coastal trajectory. I left myself plugged in the bunker, so I had to take a drop. And going into the 6th hole, didn't up and down on the 7th hole. Excellent tee shot off the 8th. 3-wood going by far over the 245 meter, 250 meter distance, leaving myself a 54 degree where I didn't actually catch the ball on the semi-rough condition. It just felt like I took the legs off the actual stalks that were holding up the ball a little bit high. But at the end of the day, it's a tough hole, up and down, and going into the last nines, it turned out to be a beautiful 8-iron for a great opportunity to make a very good 2 club, which actually was very profitable on the day, but I actually left it short, and always going to leave it short when you've had a lot of rain, and that broadleaf is actually getting absolutely bigger with the summer that we're having here at Durban, and a lot of those putts being left short, and I had the ball that would actually get the roll, but still just didn't actually hit some of those putts with the follow through that I had been looking at before the round. And at the end of the day, leaving it short was the theme of the day with the short stick, and I had to settle for a 4 over for the 9 holes that did count. So the handicap score that was entered for the day was a 77 gross. So with a 5 handicap, that's a 72 net. Probably would have come nowhere in the prizes, but there was plenty of opportunities to make birdies. Very happy about the long game, but once again I need to address the short game. Round 3 has come to an end. Looking forward to round 4 and round 5, where that experiment will continue on Monday, and looking forward to actually making some really long range putts and the short putts for par, because at the end of the day that's actually what's missing here in terms of closing out the holes. Great opportunities that aren't being taken, and we're going to also see Steve on Tuesday and actually just get a post-mortem on that as well. So looking forward to that. It is the 15th of December and the year is coming to a very quick close. So much opportunities during December and January to actually work on the game and actually have myself in some form of tournament condition for February. So looking at basically putting in at least 3 to 4 really good scores, and then maybe getting my first let's call it prize podium finish by when you actually have an exceptional round. So still haven't had that, still haven't managed to match the long and the short together, holing out. And then obviously with these new cards, having new distances, I would really be interested in just looking at the pace of play function, as well as just checking what the difference would be, how, where they're playing obviously a 1 ball in the twilight versus obviously walking or karting. That would be very interesting. So looking at this new card, it does look a bit confusing. A lot of new members not understanding the actual options regarding the rule changes for 2019. I'm also looking into the flag staying in and making a few putts, but at this stage making no difference whatsoever. The flag in the hole is actually putting me off from inside 10 foot. I need to take that flag out and completely have much better vision on the left and the right and behind the hole, just for my actual eye line, and also just getting myself into the right focus. That flag seems to actually disrupt my concentration, and I think I also lose balance just by having that flag sort of be a little bit taller than me when I'm so close range. So signing off, round 3 done, looking forward to round 4. And this is Mitch.